Good day, we're the Group 6 and our topic is food processing. We are here to present to you all the information you need to know about food processing. First, what is food processing? It is any method used to turn fresh foods into food products. This can involve one or a combination of various processes including washing, chopping, freezing, fermenting, packaging, cooking, and many more. Food processing also includes adding ingredients to food, for example, to extend shelf life. Food processing is also a set of methods and techniques used to transform raw ingredients into food or food into other forms for consumption by humans or animals, either in the home or by the food processing industry.
The history of food processing. The first method. The first and most important step in food processing was also the simplest, cooking. Our earliest ancestors started by simply adding heat to meats, seeds, and vegetables as early as 1.5 million years ago. Simple food preservation methods followed, including drying, smoking, and salting in some of the earliest civilizations, including Mesopotamia and ancient Egypt as early as 9600 BC. The 19th century, pasteurization and canning. The two important processes were popularized in 1800s. Pasteurization and canning. This process became vital to the history of food processing, making food safer and much accessible. Pasteurization, developed by the name for French microbiologist Louis Pasteur, was researched in the 1860s. This process was particularly important for juices and especially milk, which is very susceptible to bacterial growth. The 20th century. Ready-to-eat meals. Throughout 1900s, a number of rapid important development led to food processing as we know it today. Just as World War I popularized the tin can and start of the century, World War II and the space race in the middle of the century helped to speed up the development of ready-to-eat packaged meals. During this time, the working middle class also began to expand around the world, bringing increased demand for fast meals with a long shelf life. New processes, as well as new ingredients and new appliances, contributed to the history of food processing in the 20th century. Spray drying, evaporation, freeze, drying, and use of preservatives made it easier to package different types of foods and keep them on the shelf. The 21st century, food safety and regulation. Through the processed food were fast and affordable, concerns began to rise about their nutritional value in the late 20th century and 21st century. In 2004, the USDA studied the nutrient content of foods prepared in varying ways. In 2010, First Lady Michelle Obama spearheaded the Let's Move campaign designed to reduce childhood obesity and reduce sugar and salt levels in processed foods, particularly those targeted towards children. Around this time, the FDA studied food nutrition labels and the public's understanding to them, finding that the nutrition labels weren't helpful for many. The FDA pushed clearer labeling standards in 2016, including clearer calorie and sugar counts. Among the other revision, food safety regulation also saw important changes in 21st century with the passage of Food Safety and Modernization Act. As the food processing expanded in large factories, the need for stricter food safety procedures and ingredient tracking became more important to prevent or reduce the effects of foodborne illnesses. The history of food processing has grown more in the last 200 years. done it throughout the tens of thousands of years that human civilization has existed. As this process continues to advance, foods that are safe, accessible, and affordable as well healthy and environmentally friendly are the next challenges to meet.
What are the methods of food processing? Canning. The food is heated to a high temperature. The process is called pasteurization. Then, the food is packaged and stored in an airtight can. Next is fermentation. The breakdown of sugars by bacteria, yeast, or other microorganisms under anaerobic conditions. This means no oxygen is needed for the process to take place, apart from the oxygen that is present in the sugar. Fermentation is notably used in the production of alcohol beverages such as wine, beer, and cider, and in the preservation of food such as sauerkraut, dry sausages, and yogurt. But it can also use for raising dough in bread production. Next is freezing. Food temperature are reduced to below 0 degrees Celsius to decrease the activity of harmful bacteria. The process can be used to preserve the majority of foods including fruits, vegetables, meat, fish, and ready meals. Next is modified atmosphere packaging. Air inside package is substituted by protective gas mix, often including oxygen, carbon dioxide, and nitrogen gases that are also present in their weave breath. They help to extend the shelf life of fresh food products, usually fruits, vegetables, meat and meat products, and seafood. Next is pasteurization. Food is heated then quickly cooled down to kill microorganisms. For example, raw milk may contain harmful bacteria that cause foodborne illnesses. Boiling or pasturing is crucial to ensure it is safe to consume. Apart from dairy products, pasteurization is widely used in preservation of canned food, juices, and alcoholic beverages. Next is smoking, a process of heat and chemical treatment of food to help preserve it by exposing it to smoke from burning material such as wood. Smoked foods usually include types of meat, sausages, fish, or cheese. Next is the additives. Food additives play an important role in preserving the freshness, safety, taste, appearance, and texture of the processed food. Food additives are added for particular purposes, whether to ensure the food safety or to maintain food quality during the shelf life of a product. For example, antioxidants prevent fats and oils from becoming rancid, while preservatives prevent or reduce the growth of microbes. Emulsifiers are used for improving the texture of mayonnaise or stopping salad dressings from separating into oil and water.
Benefits of food processing. Make food edible. Grain crops, for example wheat and corn, are not edible in their natural state. Processing techniques such as milling and grinding turn them into flour, after which they can be made into breads, cereals, pasta, and other edible grain-based products. Safety, shelf life, and preservation. Processing improves or even ensures food safety by removing harmful microorganisms. The main methods are pasteurization, airtight packaging, and the use of preservatives. Nutritional quality. Food processing can affect the nutritional quality of food in both ways. It can enhance it, for instance by adding components that were not present, like vitamin D through fortification, or lowering fat, salt, or sugar. It also causes some fiber and vitamins and minerals to be lost, for example, through excessive refining, heating, and freezing. Convenience. Processing and packaging technologies help to answer modern-day time constraints by providing a range of convenient foods, ready meals, bagged salads, sliced and canned fruits and vegetables that take little time to prepare and can be consumed on the go. Price. Food processing can decrease the cost of foods. For example, frozen vegetables have a similar nutritional values as fresh ones, but at lowering a price, as they have already been prepared, do not contain inedible parts, can be bought in bulk, and can last longer. This way, processing increases the shelf life of food and decreases the amount of waste, reducing thereby the overall cost of food production.
How does processed food fit into a healthy diet? A healthy diet means eating a variety of nutritious foods from different food groups, including pressed fruits and vegetables, grains and cereals, proteins, dairy, and healthy fats. Most foods consumed nowadays are processed at least to some degree, but not all processed foods are the same. For example, fruit canned in fruit juice will be a better option than fruit canned in sugar syrup. Therefore, when chosen mindfully, processed foods can be incorporated into a healthy and balanced diet. Less processed foods, such as frozen fruits and vegetables, provide valuable sources of nutrition with greater convenience and lower price. Chopped, frozen, and canned goods in natural juices or water are therefore good alternatives for busy people having limited time to shop for or cook from a fresh produce. Some processed food that contain less fiber and higher levels of fat, added sugar, and salt are best consumed occasionally. For example, canned savor foods and cured meats are often in salt. In fact, the World Cancer Research Fund advises to eat very little, if any, processed meat, such as ham, salami, bacon, and some sausages, including frankfurters and chorizo. Similarly, it helps to be mindful of foods like biscuits, chocolate, burgers, pizzas, and alike, and make them an occasional addition to, rather than a basis of our diet.